Hi, I'm Nina McVeigh.
And I'm Hayley Grish.
And today we're going to explore ruler work. I have already attached my number 72 adjustable ruler foot to the machine, which is our ruler foot for domestic machines. And what I have laid out here in front are the two ruler sets that BERNINA has available for you. We have a very basic set. These are our rulers that are called our sit-down rulers, or those that you would use on your domestic machine. These are a little bit smaller rulers, so they're more manageable. Once you get used to the ruler work techniques, these could also be used on your domestic machine. These are called our frame ruler set, but they are interchangeable.
Good to know. I don't have a long arm, but I like that larger concentric circle. That's more my speed, some bigger open motifs.
And now that you mention that large circle, notice that these are a lot of different circles, so they're nested together. So if I pick this up, this whole unit is going to come apart. So it's always best to use a little bit of painter's tape to hold those rulers together, and then I can pick up the whole ruler. So what I want to look at are the backs of these rulers, because they are just smooth on the back side. And of course what that means is when you start trying to move them with your fabric, they're going to slide. So we want to make sure that we put some kind of surface on the back of the ruler to keep it from sliding, and there are a lot of different options available. I have the little round circles on the back of this.
Oh yeah.
A little rubberized
like
circle.
Silicone kind of grips.
And then I have a much rougher surface on this one, almost like skateboard grip tape on the back of this.
It's like sandpaper.
It's very abrasive. So you do need to be careful about what you use depending on the fabric that you're going to have that ruler sitting on. As far as basic ruler work, when I start, I want to make sure, first of all, this is a free motion technique. So ruler work is the way we get accurate, repeatable designs, whether that's a straight line or a curved line. But it's always that accurate, repeatable design in free motion. I'm going to make sure that my feed dogs are lowered on my machine. Obviously, it's a free motion technique. And I'm going to lower my foot. And you can see that I have adjusted this foot so it's just above the surface of the fabric. When we begin machine quilting, we always want to start by lowering our needle into the fabric and pulling up that bobbin thread. That way I know where both those threads are. So I am on my straight stitch with my needle in center position, and that's important because this circle is a 1/2 inch all the way around, and with my needle in center, I am now going to be a 1/4 inch from the edge of my ruler. And now this is the tricky part where I need to make sure that I'm moving my ruler and my fabric together. And just using the edge of that ruler as a guide. I'm not really pushing the ruler hard against the foot. I have even pressure on this ruler. Now rulers come in different lengths. I really don't need a long ruler. What you want to do is just move that ruler. So most of the pressure on my hand is right here where I can sew. And then when I get to the point where I'm almost beyond my hand, I'm going to move my hand down, keeping pressure on that ruler. Now, of course, the ideal situation for doing ruler work would be to have this machine down in a table. Right. So you have a nice large table surface. However, if I don't have that situation, then I'm going to make sure I put on my slide-on table, and that works as well. So very typical, common ruler work would be to do a line of stitching and then move your stitching over. Now, you notice I didn't use a ruler to do that. I just moved over, and I was watching, and as soon as my line of stitching was on the edge of this foot, then I'm going to put my ruler back in place and keep the edge of my ruler on my line of stitching. And as I stitch in the other direction, and if you have to stop and readjust, You can do that.
Yeah, keeping steady pressure across that ruler is important. Using the ruler is pointless if you end up shifting it or things start going wonky.
That's right. Now, I just wavered away from that ruler a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's easy to do. So it's in that practicing that you want to just be mindful of keeping the foot against the ruler. Otherwise, you're going to lose the whole reason for using that straight edge ruler.
But it takes a lot of the guesswork out of having to eyeball those straight lines.
It does. And once you get used to that, it's really fun to use some of the other rulers. Now I have a curvy edged one here that can be very fun. But right now I can feel just a little bit of slipping going on, so I realize I have gone past where I can really be holding that ruler steady. So I'm going to walk my hand down and readjust and continue on. Now again, I could echo this as well. I could move over. This one's a little bit harder to echo because it doesn't actually have an echo line like this type of ruler, where you can see I've got a 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch, so I don't have to do just 1/4 inch echoing. I could do 1/2 inch echoing, 3/4 inch echoing. I have a table runner here where I have done some stitching on, and I have used very basic orange peel shape where you're taking a 9 patch and just
that. It's
echoing.
one of my favorites.
This is so easy, and it's so impressive when you do it with your rulers. And then the squiggle ruler I used here, which almost looks like a scallop, and then here where I echoed it just to get a wavy line. So for more information on ruler work and the Bernina ruler work sets, visit your local Bernina dealer today.